Daredevil #2, written by Saladin Ahmed, art by Aaron Cooter, colors by Jesus Erbatov, and letters by VC's Clayton Culls. And there was a bit of controversy in the first issue, a demon that showed up that might be anti-Semitic. I didn't see it that way myself. This issue, it doesn't have any of that. If people ended up reading that first issue or hearing about it and jumping into this thinking, oh my God, I want to see how crazy it is, or I want to see this, what they're talking about, you don't really get much of that at all in this issue because you don't get a lot of stuff happening in this issue with demons or anything. Pretty much it's Matt facing the police and then helping one of the kids at this home with a bullying issue. It's fine. You actually told me before we started recording that you might like it a little more than me. I didn't hate it. It's just the idea where it feels almost like a cool down or a filler issue, and it's only the second issue of the series, so that throws me off a bit. But it looks like Saladin Ahmed is taking like a slow burn approach to explaining how and why Matt came back from the end of Chip Zdarsky's run and to set up what would be a new book, status quo, and things going forward, right?
Yeah, I think I did like a little bit more than you from what we were saying, Jim, but I get what you're saying. It does feel like almost like a pause issue, doesn't it? It's like taking its time, a breathing issue, but I like the character work, and I did appreciate Kuda's art more in this one, especially the kind of fight scene with the gangs. I like the art there. That's well done.
Yeah, I like the art. There's only one thing I didn't like about the art, and it was a weird play. It's the very end with Ben Urich that I don't know why. Like, as I look at it, he has that big head syndrome that you get with, John Romita Jr. a lot of times.
He looks a bit weird, doesn't he? Yeah.
Kind of threw me off there, but the art overall is pretty good. And pretty much what this is setting up is that somebody, and then revealed as Ben Urich at the end, is trying to kind of like out Matt, maybe. Because Matt came back. It's a weird play. Matt is a priest, right? He has this play of Father Matt. But I wonder what people don't know or do know. He came back and he's running this, shelter. He's running this home for wayward youth through the church. And so what did he tell them? Where's his background? How does he do this? This is something we talked about in the first issue. It's just a weird play. I guess you have to just go with this mysterious Father Matt. The police show up and they're kind of jerks. At first, they're not. It's a weird play. They just want to know, hey, we heard these rumors, but the rumors are from like an online post. It felt weird. It's weird that they show up here.
How seriously do police take those kind of rumors? Do you think that's Saladin Ahmed having a bit of a dig at, the social media and all that?
It might be because it's, I understand of coming and checking, hey, we heard this, we have to come by and whatever, but they're demanding to come in. Matt's saying to go get a warrant again. Maybe Saladin Ahmed, it's funny because it's so surface level, but it might be the idea that Saladin Ahmed is trying to show the past law stuff, like, the lawyer deal, like, hey, you need a warrant to come in, but everybody knows that. Like, that's nothing that's crazy, and these kids are watching, and they're yelling, and everything's going on, but when the police leave, then Matt has to blow off some steam, and he gets on the Daredevil costume and goes out, and then we have gang war downtown. Downtown, everybody's just shooting guns everywhere. There's a standoff with police. There's a new gang in town. All these things going down for Matt then to just go and, kind of knock some heads. He doesn't really, go and look into this as much as just these guys are shooting guns. I'm going to knock some heads. Again, though, it didn't feel like that crazy big or important. You end up having just this little thing going down. And then he runs away. The big play in this is that, people are still remembering that Daredevil killed somebody. You went to jail.
I like that as well, Jim. I appreciate that continuity that at least, Saladin's mentioning that. But what was I going to say? What did you think about it here? He's like, before he even got to the gang war, he's like, I feel like I need to go and hit somebody. That was quite a strange side of, Matt and Daredevil to go from a priest to this, like.
And even he said, like last issue, had that play as well, that idea of, I really want to beat people up, but I know I shouldn't, but I'm ashamed that I still have that inside me, and I get that feeling and whatnot. And it keeps going back and forth. We'll see how that plays out and what goes
He's
on
kind of
with
reminding people he's still there, isn't he? But they were surprised, like, hey, wait a minute, I thought Daredevil was a woman now. No, it was a dude.
That's what I thought there was going to be more of that. I actually thought there'd be like a funny deal of like, hey, you're a little, smaller in the chest slightly there, Daredevil. But they go with the idea of, hey, you're a wanted guy. You killed a dude. You were in jail. Again, that's just in my mind, Saladin Ahmed setting up, because again, yeah, Chip Zdarsky's stuff obviously did happen, but when you end up sacrificing yourself, dying in hell, and then coming back here, who knows what's reset? Who knows what the deal is, especially when Matt just comes back and is mysteriously a priest. So I do appreciate, like you said, that Saladin Ahmed through this is setting up that, yes, this is still going on, and people still recognize Daredevil as somebody who killed somebody and went to jail for it. So, okay, we're setting up the groundwork again, rebuilding up of what we had. But then he goes back and there's a bullying problem with one of the kids, Danilo, at this, youthful hostel. I don't know what, I keep wanting to call it all these different things, but this wayward youth home that they're running. And people are like, man, your parents are dead because of you. It's online bullying. It's all this stuff going on. And the one kid is worried about this Danilo and says, Father Matt, can you go talk to Danilo? And he goes and talks to him, and it's nice. The weird play, though, is in the second issue where I kind of wanted or thought we'd get more of like, all right, let's get Daredevil stuff. Let's iron out what's going to be going on with Elektra and him. Let's see if Foggy knows he's come back. Let's go with. It's kind of, like you said, like a pause, a little bit of a slower burn where he goes. But it's nice that he talks to this kid, and he's pretty good about it. Hey, listen, these kids, that's what bullies do. And even with the religious part of it, the kid says, well, God's plan, it kind of sucks sometimes because the kid's parents are dead. And Matt says, yeah. And the kid says, is it wrong to be mad at God? Is it mad? I'm angry right now, and I'm angry at what happened. And Matt kind of says, if it's wrong to be angry at God, then I'm never right, because yes, you do get angry, but that works into the deal, and once you accept everything going on, but it's still just a kid. But then Matt goes and thinks of, hey, all these things happened so far, and basically in the second issue, all you're going to be able to show is that demon from last issue and the cops here. Like, oh man, it's been a tough road so far. It's like, all right, we got that, but he's wondering who it was, because when the police showed up, they said, oh, this online deal, this online thing, and it is like, what is it called? Reveal all devils.
Reveal all devils, yeah. It's rad, Jim. It's rad like you.
It's rad, all right. Oh, man, cowabunga, dude. So you end up like, all the kids at the rec center are talking like that. So you end up where he's wondering, okay, who is this rad? Who's this online persona? It's funny because he finds it pretty quick. I mean, it looks like it's Ben Urich, like a burner account type deal for Ben Urich, who now is running the Daily Bugle. Right. And that is like, well, what's going on with that? Is he a little off coming back? Did something else happen? Is it a similar situation maybe as Matt has? And it's interesting to think, well, we'll deal with that and see what's going on. I just expected something that felt bigger at the beginning of this, but if Saladin Ahmed is trying to hunker down for a longer run, then it'll all work out. But if this is something that doesn't last too long, you might be wasting space right away. Or, I don't think this issue is going to lose anybody, but I don't think it's going to gain any readers either. It's just what it is, and kind of just, all right, that was nice enough, but let's go and get something more going, with pretty much setting up Matt and Daredevil with everything that went on and did lead into this book. But what did you think?
One question I've got, Jim, is like, does Ben Urich know, that Matt is now this priest working at that youth hostel? I don't know how that works, because, he must know who he is. Maybe he doesn't know he's Daredevil, I guess, but...
Yeah, and that's the weird play. It's like the reveal all devils, so you think that that's the kind of tying into Daredevil.
That's like a play on the word,
thinking like the thing, but then you're wondering, does Ben Urich know, or is he just against Matt, who was dead and came back, and there's no explanation? I mean, there's a story there. Famed blind lawyer Matt Murdock comes back from the dead without an explanation. It might be something somebody might want to look into. And it might be something like that, but it's just a weird play because everything coming back from how Chip Zdarsky ended is kind of a mystery. So you want to learn some things and you're adding more to it before.
You do.
It's something that we get a lot in comics, though, the mystery box
main
stuff.
Criticism, isn't it? It's like people saying he's not exploring this enough, like how did Matt get back so quickly? Does he remember what happened? Does he remember going to hell and all that? So I can understand that criticism. Yeah, the writer's not really touching on it, is he?
Yeah, and the weird thing, it seems Matt does know. I mean, Matt thinks about things that he did. He's talked to Elektra, he's done that. But what does everybody else know? And what do they think? And what is this, Father Matt? How does this work out? Like I said, is it easy enough to figure out, oh, that's Father Matt, that's Matt Murdock, lawyer who died, come back? Because that's not really being touched on at all. When the police come, they don't say, well, we came here because people have been talking that you kind of came back from the dead and we don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, aren't you Matt Murdock, lawyer, or you this? They don't say anything like that. And it's just odd overall. But it's interesting enough. It's interesting. I think that maybe the play here could have been like, wait 6 months, wait a year before he comes back like this. And then it might feel like, okay, well, he was in hell for a while. He came back. Let's see what's going on. But he was in hell for what would be a hot weekend, it seems. I mean, they say like 6 months, but in our time of actually reading, it was a couple weeks. I mean, it was crazy. So with that, what would be your score?
For this, again, I'm being quite positive. You know what I'm like, but I did enjoy the character work. I enjoyed the art a bit more than I did last time. I think maybe I've got used to the artist now. That could be it. Apart from his John Romita Jr. big head syndrome
big head Ben Urich.
Yeah, but I'm going to go for 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm 6'5". So I'm just a little lower than you. I still think it's interesting enough. I'm still intrigued by it. It's one of those books where I really like the Chip Zdarsky run to a point. I think it went on a little bit too long. I really like Jim. Yeah, and I like the Elektra stuff more than a lot of other people as well. But when it came back as that renumbered number 1, I thought that it lost its kind of seal there. It felt like Chip Zdarsky at that point was just trying to get to the end, where before it was really good, I thought. But this, I kind of want to get into this and continue liking Daredevil, but I'm just not there yet. It hasn't hooked me yet, and I need something. And this isn't the issue that's going to hook you, it seems. So I'm going to go 6'5", though, because I'm with you. I do like the art. I do like it in general, but I just need a little bit more. Maybe we'll get it next issue. We will see.
Hopefully.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.